hey, I'm a mortgage officer, I can help you get a mortgage. It's like, no one wants that. I can help you get a mortgage. Great. So can all these other people.
I think you call it clarifying your language. Explain a little bit more about what you mean by that.
Here's where that came from, is that I ran a challenge where I brought these service business owners in and taught them how I produce books. And the common scenario that comes up is that here's what they say: I've got so much experience as a doctor or as a lawyer or, as to frame it, a consultant, a coach, and I don't know how to refine or condense my words. I don't know how to take all of that experience and put it into something that's a refinement process that they have trouble with in identifying what's going to be relevant to share. This is what we're talking about here, is when you want to clarify your language, you get outside yourself and go into the mind and heart of the target client. And then it's a clarification process, because not everything's going to be relevant to them. You can ask yourself, what's going to be most relevant to that person? And then just share that.
It's so fascinating. So one of the concepts which I talk about, especially in sales, is it's actually much easier to sell somebody else than it is to sell yourself. You get somebody to stand up and do a 60-second pitch about themselves and their business, and they're like, and they can't get the words out. Yeah. And then you say, well, hang on, Robin, talk about Colin, and I could pitch you and what you do probably a gazillion times better than you maybe could yourself, because I'm not emotionally attached to that story, but I see the good stuff around, like your unique selling proposition, what your superpowers are, amazing results which you get for your clients through your process. I could bang on about that like no problem at all, but for myself, I always kind of clam up a little bit, and I'm well rehearsed now, so it does get a little bit easier. But I suppose when you're trying to break down what is somebody's like superpower, what is their USP, what little tips have you got for then extracting it and putting it into words?
Well, there's so many criteria. If you think about uniqueness as a multi-dimensional jewel. So it's not one-dimensional, it's not a single line. Just take a triangle, right? You've got these 3 dimensions. We're starting at the beginning, and we're saying that we're interacting and thinking about our ideal client. That ideal client is encapsulated. We've encapsulated a story. We've got a beginning, middle, and end. We met this client, they were struggling with whatever it was. We moved them through a journey and produce a result. That's the story there. Now, whatever is objective about that story could be a dimension of that triangle. So, for instance, if your ideal client says to you, the biggest impact that I got was you were there with me every step of the way, and you were supportive. Anytime I sent you an email, you sent it back within an hour. That's them saying that to you. So that can be a line, it can be a surface of that multi-dimensional jewel. Okay, so timing is a very important criteria for my client, and support, and being able to answer back to emails. Is that the top category of like the main thing they're looking for? Maybe not. But the more points you quantify on that benefit that you're offering them, the more you can emphasize that as a unique characteristic of your business.
The biggest mistake people make when they're qualifying those USPs, their unique selling proposition, is that they're a little bit vanilla with it. They're a bit too boring. So take, for example, like we want to, I don't know, they're a shed building business. We want the highest quality shed. Well, nobody woke up in the morning and went, I want a really poor quality shed, did they?
Yeah.
Right. So quality isn't a USP, is it?
No. An example of this is, okay, so Kirk Jaffe, mortgage officer. He's in LA, 52-ish. The majority of his business came from $300,000 to $500,000 homes. However, $1 million to $2 million home, a mortgage on that is whatever, 3 times multiple in terms of the commission, at least. So when we were interacting about his book, he was thinking from the context of what he's doing most of the time, but not what is the most valuable or who he's the most valuable to. On the back of his book, since he had done these $1 million loans and closed them on average in 21 days, because they're actually a higher quality prospect that he likes working with, and they're easier to, they have all of their stuff organized in terms of their paperwork. The way we framed who he is on his book is Kirk Jaffe is an expert at originating complex loans for multi-million-dollar homes. So it was eliminating out all of that 80% of the lower end deals that take up a lot of his time and focus exclusively on the higher end deals. And the uniqueness is that it was multi-million dollar homes that we're phrasing that in 21 days or less guaranteed. That was the sense of guarantee, that's a unique, the sense of timing, 21 days, $1 million homes, expert at originating complex loans. It's a lot in one little paragraph, but it communicates exactly who he's for and what makes him unique, as opposed to, hey, I'm a mortgage officer, I can help you get a mortgage. It's like, no one wants that. I can help you get a mortgage. Great. So can all these other people. There's no unique differentiation. But when he's doing loans on complex loans on multi-million dollar homes in 21 days or less, that's more specific. It's more interesting. It's more beneficial.